Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have discussed about gene regulation in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now, in this class, we are going to discuss about the DNA fingerprinting. Okay, so let us see DNA fingerprinting, some introduction and contribution of scientists in DNA fingerprinting. Okay, so DNA fingerprinting also known as DNA profiling. DNA profiling. Okay. And what is DNA fingerprinting? We have to know the definition by this. The method which used to identify specific repetitive sequences of nucleotides that varies from person to person, is called DNA fingerprinting. Fingerprinting. This method also used to find out the person's identity. So once again, what is DNA fingerprinting? You can see on the board the method which used to identify the specific sequence of nucleotides that varies from person to person, known as DNA fingerprinting. Let us see what is the meaning of repetitive sequences. You know, suppose this is the DNA fragment, and this DNA fragment contains, there are 4 types of bases present: A, T, G, and C. But in case of repetitive sequences, the same sequence is repeated many times. For example, the base A and G repeated 6 times. So this is the repetitive sequence. Suppose that AG found in 6 times. AG, again AG, okay? AG and AG. So this is the repetitive sequence because the AG sequence repeated 6 times, and these 6 times known as copy number. How many times the repetitive sequence repeats on the DNA? It's known as its copy number. For example, see one more sequence. Suppose that A, C, and G 4 times. Okay, so you will write 4 times A, C, and G. A, C, G, again A, C, G, again A, C, G, and A, C, G. So this is the repetitive sequence that varies from person to person. It is only same in case of monozygotic twins. Okay, so by this method we can identify the person's identity because these repetitive sequence never same. Okay, and it responsible for to find out the person's identity, and with the help of DNA fingerprinting we can work in the forensic sciences and to solve the various murder cases and in case of paternity disputes. Okay, so let us see some more thing about DNA fingerprinting, the discovery, and then the remaining part of DNA fingerprinting. But in the world, the idea of DNA fingerprinting was given by Alex Jeffrey. Professor Alex Jeffrey given the idea of DNA fingerprinting in the world. So he was also known as the father of DNA fingerprinting. Okay, so in the world, the father of DNA fingerprinting regarded as Professor Alex Jeffrey. He is also considered the father of DNA fingerprinting. But in India, Professor Lalji Singh regarded as father of DNA fingerprinting in India. Father of DNA fingerprinting. Father of DNA fingerprinting in India. Who is the father of DNA fingerprinting in the world? Answer will be Professor Alexei Frey. But in India, the idea of DNA fingerprinting started by Professor Lalit Singh, and in India, the method of DNA fingerprinting was done in the CCMB Hyderabad. CCMB stands for Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. And first C stands for center, second C stands for cellular, and third is the M stands for molecular, B stands for biology. This is the full form of CCMB. So in India, the work of DNA fingerprinting done in the Hyderabad, and the name of the institute is CCMB. That full form is Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. So let us see, when human genome or DNA undergoes density gradient centrifugation, you will get, suppose that this is the human genome or DNA. Human genome. Okay, you can see the total content of DNA. When this human genome, the complete human genome, undergoes density gradient centrifugation, so scientists found that there are it divided into two components. Okay, that is, first is known as the bulk DNA. And second one is known as the satellite DNA. These are the satellite DNA, the repetitive DNA sequences. Okay, it forms the large portion of the genome. Okay, in bulk DNA it is about 99.9%. Bulk DNA is about 99.9%. It represents the coding part of the DNA. That means it is expressed into protein. And this satellite DNA is considered as the non-coding portion of the DNA. Non-coding portion of the DNA, because it is not responsible for expression. There is no transcription, no translation. That means no protein synthesis occurs in satellite DNA. Okay, so satellite DNA can see the repetitive sequences of DNA that varies from person to person. And this satellite DNA can be classified on the basis of three criteria. Okay, first on the basis of length of the DNA, second is ATGC ratio, and third on the basis of copy number. So this satellite DNA product classified into three criteria. First on the basis of length of the DNA, second on the basis of ATGC ratio, and third on the basis of copy number. How many times these sequences repeated, that is known as copy number. It is classified into two types. First one is known as the mini satellites. And second one is known as the microsatellite. These are the basis of number of copy number. So mini satellites also known as VNTR. VNTR stands for variable number of tandem repeats. Okay, and this VNTR consists of about 10 to 60 base pairs long. 10 to 60 base pairs long. And this mini satellites are also known as STRs. STRs stands for Star Tandem Repeats. STRs, and this STRs is about 1 to 8 base pair long. So once again, when the total human genome or DNA undergoes density gradient centrifugation, it was found that the whole amount of DNA is divided into two parts. Okay, the first part is known as the bulk DNA, second part is known as the satellite DNA. The bulk DNA is the DNA that is common, or you can say similar in all individuals. Okay, in the humans, about 99.9% bases are same. You can say about 99% content of DNA is same. Okay, and it was seen that this bulk DNA form gives rise the high peak, and this satellite DNA gives rise the lower peak after genetic gradient centrifugation. So this high peak represents the bulk DNA part. Bulk DNA portion is about 99.9%. This is so common in all individuals in the human. Okay, and this small peak represents the, you can say this small peak represents the satellite DNA. It is about only, you can say 0.1%. Satellite DNA represents only 1%, 0.1%. Okay, and this satellite DNA, the size of the VNTRs is about 0.1 to 20 kb. So what is the actual size of VNTRs? VNTRs stands for variable number of random repeats. Okay, and this VNTR having size about 0.1 to 20 kb. Kb stands for kilo base. Okay, so how much the percentage is same within the all population in the human? The answer will be 99.9%. DNA are same. That is represents the bulk DNA. And which percentage is differed? The answer will be 0.1%. That 1.1% also known as the satellite DNA, and this satellite DNA is highly repetitive DNA sequences. And this satellite DNA further classified into 3 types on the basis of 3 criteria. 2 types on the basis of 3 criteria. The first criteria is length of the DNA. Second one, ATGC ratio, and third one, number of, you can say, copy number. How many times these repetitive sequences repeated, that is known as copy number. So this is all about the basic of the DNA fingerprinting. Once again, what is VNTRs? A sequence of nucleotide bases, that is you can say what is VNTRs? The sequence of repetitive nucleotide sequences that varies from person to person is known as VNTRs. And this VNTR is responsible for the person's identity. Okay, so what is VNTRs? VNTRs stands for variable number of random repeats, and this VNTR may be defined as a repetitive DNA sequence that varies from person to person, responsible for the person's identity, known as VNTRs. And with the help of DNA fingerprinting, we can identify the person's identity to find out the VNTRs. So let us see the various steps of DNA fingerprinting. Okay, so DNA fingerprinting is completed in the following steps. So first of all, you have to know the various steps of DNA fingerprinting. Then you will know the detail of each steps one by one. Okay, so let us see the various steps of DNA fingerprinting. Various steps of DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting also known as DNA profiling. It is already explained. So let us see. So there are some steps that used in the DNA fingerprinting, and first one is known as the isolation of DNA. Isolation of DNA from sample. Okay, from sample, and this sample may be either blood during the murder cases, either hair from the crime scene area. Here also contain DNA, and you know the blood contain blood cells contain DNA. Okay, and third one, it may be semen in case of rape cases. When rape is there, for the DNA fingerprinting, semen is collected. This semen acts as the sample in the rape cases. Okay, so this is the step 1. In the step 2, this second step is known as the digestion of DNA. Digestion of DNA, also known as restriction of DNA by an enzyme known as restriction endonuclease. Restriction endonuclease. Let us see third step. After the isolation of DNA, suppose that the concentration of DNA is very less. So there is one method by which we can increase the concentration of DNA. This method is known as PCR. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. Okay. So next step is amplification of DNA fragments. Amplification of DNA fragments. When DNA concentration is very less, then PCR done. By PCR. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction, is what discovered by Kary-Mullis in the year 1885. So next step is separation of DNA fragments. Separation of DNA fragments. DNA fragments by using gel electrophoresis. Gel electrophoresis. Next step, that is fifth one, that is known as the hybridization with the radioactive probe. Next step is transfer of DNA fragments. Transfer of DNA fragments from agarose gel to the NCM. NCM stands for nitrocellulose membrane. This step also known as the solder blotting. Next step is the hybridization with the radioactive probes. Hybridization of the DNA fragments with the radioactive probes. Next step is hybridization with radioactive probe. Probes are the radioactive DNA sequences that is single stranded and that is complementary to the VLTRs of the DNA fragment that present on the agarose cell. And last step is autoradiography. Okay. So total how many steps you can see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So total there are 7 steps that include the complete process of DNA fingerprinting. Once again, let us see these steps one by one. Then we will discuss about the detail of each step in the next class. Okay, let us see step 1. Isolation of DNA from sample. This sample may be blood and hair during murder cases or semen during the rape cases. Okay. Next one, after the isolation of DNA, digestion of the resulting breakdown of DNA takes place by using a special enzyme that is known as restriction endonuclease. And this enzyme having capacity or you can say ability to break the DNA at specific DNA sequences. We will read this detail in the biotechnology unit. Okay. Next one, amplification of DNA fragments. That means in this method, when the sample, suppose that the amount of the sample is very less. So this by this method, we can amplify or you can say we can increase the number of DNA fragments by using a special method known as PCR. PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. Next one, separation of DNA fragments by gel electrophoresis. This is the method by which we can separate the various fragments of DNA, that is smaller and larger fragments, on the basis of their density. The smaller density will move faster and larger density will move slower in the cell. And electricity is required. Electric current is required for the agarose electrophoresis. After the electrophoresis, okay, these agarose DNA fragment transferred to the membrane known as NCM. This method is known as the solder blotting. NCM stands for nitrocellulose membrane. After transferring DNA fragments on the membrane, hybridization with radioactive probes takes place. These DNA fragments hybridize with the known sequence of DNA, single-stranded DNA, that is known as the probe. Okay, and last one is the autoradiography. In this step, the whole NCM is exposed to the X-ray to find out the fingerprint or you can say dark band of the DNA. Okay, so next class we will discuss about the detail of each step. Okay, that will be the second part of DNA fingerprinting. Thank you.